Beers. Bloody brilliant.
Beers.
Bloody brilliant sport.
And welcome back to the Bloody Brilliant Beers podcast, brought to you by Bluebet.
That's Klutz. I'm Das. We are the Bloody Brilliant Beers. We started out reviewing craft beers on Facebook, and now we bring you the conversations that you'd more than likely hear from the front bar at your local. And Klutzy, where are we, mate?
And it's a nice sunny afternoon in Queensland at the Caxton Hotel.
How good afternoons in Queensland in summer? The sun's up a bit longer. It's fucking glorious.
You know what's actually awesome?
What?
Waking up in the morning and it not being dark.
Yeah, and not being in
Really
Townsville,
good.
but we'll touch on that later. This is our sports show where basically if you're looking for a breakdown of stats and analysis, we'd ask that you kindly
Fuck off.
fuck off. And as always, we are joined by our good friend Donny Sports over on the casting couch. How are you, mate?
I'm really good. How was that sound engineering today? I thought it was much like my old trampolining days.
How many weeks?
Perfect dismount.
How many weeks have you been doing this for?
I don't know.
almost
Time
6 or 7
flies
at
when you're
least.
having fun.
Yeah,
At least
more,
6 or
I reckon.
7.
Yeah, I
At
reckon.
least 6 or
I reckon
7.
probably more than
But
10.
I've
Yeah,
only been granted the DJ privileges for maybe the last 3.
10 weeks.
10 weeks.
At least 10.
It's simple
10 weeks.
mathematics, honestly.
Yeah.
You still don't get it.
Trust me,
But,
we'll touch on maths later as well.
Yeah, it's good to see that you're finally doing something right.
I thought it was good. I thought that one was
No,
good.
it was really good.
No, it was
Which
really
is saying
good.
it's
Perfect, some people could
now
say.
you realise how easy it is. You're like, how the fuck did that take me so long to get?
Now, there's a bit of a skill curve, but now that I've mastered it, I feel really good about it.
I was wondering if maybe Darcy's explanation wasn't good, but then I was like, I understand it. I get
If
what
he
he's
gets
saying.
it, everyone should get
Everyone
it.
should fucking get it.
For those of you who don't know, we're coming to you live from the Caxton Hotel, which is in the heartland of Brisbane, the greatest city of all. And this weekend coming up, if you're listening to this podcast when it came out, the mighty Brisbane Lions and Brisbane Broncos are both playing in their
baby.
respective
So
grand
exciting.
finals. Brisbane, the sporting capital of the world.
Of the world.
Of the world.
Can safely say that.
What's the population of Brisbane, Josh? I forgot to Google it.
I'm going to
2.2?
say... No, I'm going to say this great population of 3.428 million.
Brisbane population is 2.28 million.
Oh, it's only a million and 800,000 off.
Yeah,
1.2
that's right.
million off. I don't know.
2.28 million people. That's from 2016. So we probably got a fair bit of rooting done in
a
COVID.
fair
Those
bit
numbers
of
probably be
rooting,
inflated. But
Yeah.
crazy that a city of 2.28 million can produce the 2 greatest football sides in the universe.
And you know what as well, though? We got to cast our minds right back to summer. We also made the Heat fucking BBL final.
Did we?
Yeah.
I can't remember that. but
Fucking oath we did.
Don't stat check. So there you go. Yeah, we're on
So
fire.
cricket, league,
Yep.
and AFL.
This sort of brought me to my first point, Josh. Now, on the weekend, you were spotted in a jersey that wasn't a Melbourne Storm jersey, and we'll touch on that a little bit later as well. But I've actually sourced something that I would like to purchase with the BBB business card
Okay.
as a business purchase. But
Yes.
in the background, people won't know there's a lot of stuff going on, and Klutzy and I are basically scrounging our money away for some big plans that we've got.
Yeah.
So we pretty much need to clear all purchases with each other. We both have the ability to recklessly go out there and spend money.
Yeah.
But we've sort of made a pact that we would clear stuff with each other. So I've found this, Josh, and I think you're going to be on board.
Yes.
It's $150.
Yes.
It's on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, best place to get stuff.
Yes.
It is a create your own time travel adventures with Lapin DeLorean 1,872 piece block car set, a Lego time traveling
machine.
DeLorean. And I thought potentially, we could buy this with BBB money, bring it into the studio.
Yeah.
You could go back to 8 years of age,
Yeah.
and maybe make some
20
decisions.
years.
Maybe make some decisions around who you're going to support.
years. Maybe I'll
Back to the future.
lose my love of the Wallabies then, so I don't have 20 years of heartbreak.
No.
We've got to go back, Klutzy.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not. Well, I'm just saying, it's with time travel's available, mate. If you want to go back and renounce your Storm,
Can we make a stop at round 15 so I didn't make this fucking bet for this shit?
no, sorry, it's for BBB employees only, dude.
One-way travel, baby.
Unless you want to chip in, you can get fucked. But yeah, how good? Sporting capital of the world.
Yep.
Even Donny reckons he's supporting the Bronx this weekend.
Yeah, well, he's got
I
a
am,
membership.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a
Well,
membership.
you got to get around the boys.
That does add up. Yeah,
No, I am. I'm getting all around Brisbane this weekend. You simply have to.
You absolutely have to. If
Simply
you're not
have
from Penrith or wherever the fuck Collingwood's
If
from
you,
in
even if
Melbourne.
you live in Brisbane, even if you are a Collingwood or Penrith fan, fucking grow up.
Yeah,
Simply.
simply.
Like I don't really like. I obviously back the Lions. I obviously don't back Brisbane, but you have to step outside yourself and understand that we're on the foothills of greatness here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fuck yeah,
The
we
double.
are.
The
Fuck yeah,
double.
we are.
Did you have a hypothetical for us this week, Donny?
Yeah, it got me thinking with the Brownlow on Monday night and the Dally M's tonight as we record. It is a question that I got asked in the middle of the week, and I thought I'd ask you guys. Would you rather win the Dally M, but your team comes dead last, or win the Clive Churchill medal in a losing grand final side?
Oh, that's a tough one.
It's a fucking kick in the dick either
You'd have to be
way.
doing pretty well to win the Dally M and a fucking team that came last.
Yeah, you'd
Ben
have
Hunt, maybe.
Yeah.
Coruscant.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
The thing is, with the Dally M, like, if your team's that shit, it's like, now, this is no knock on the bloke, but Luke Brooks a few years ago, halfback of the year, went for the Tigers. Like, he was the only one performing every week.
Yeah.
So, of course, you're going to rack up some points.
Yeah.
Not hard to stand out in a shit team.
Yeah.
Hence why I don't stand out in 6th grade, because we're an elite team. But
Very hard to win. Very, very hard to win a Clive Churchill in a losing side. I think it's only been
Exactly.
done
Yeah.
twice, maybe 3 times.
That's almost like a bigger feather in your cap too, I'd say.
Yeah.
But
Would you say that the Dally M the Dally M carries a bit more weight than a Clive Churchill? I don't know why I feel that way. I can't really
Dally
rattle
M's
off.
a
because it's
season.
for the whole
Yeah,
season,
yeah.
not just
but
the game.
also, if you're winning it, I don't think anyone would ever win a Dally M in a losing team.
We should probably-
in the worst team.
We should probably say for listeners out there who are unaware, so the Dally M basically is essentially the player of the year in the
It's
NRL.
the MVP.
The
And,
MVP.
and how it works, if I'm not mistaken, is every game they do a 3-2-1 vote for every team. So like your team doesn't have to be the best team of the comp
No.
for you to win the Dally M. You just play the best. And the Clive Churchill is the man of the match in the grand final for the NRL, which rarely goes to the losing team.
Yeah.
Rarely.
Very, very rare.
I guess the question is,
Well, would
you're really asking yourself, would you rather come dead last or lose a grand
Well,
final?
yeah, but I was going to say flipping it. Would you rather win a Dally M and win the grand final, or win the Clive Churchill and win the grand final?
Clive Churchill.
I'm definitely Clive Churchill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Dally
Big
M,
moment.
Dally M, like
That day goes to
I
a
feel.
weak
Let's
status there.
say you won the Dally M and you're going into the grand final. That's a weight of expectation on you that might weigh heavily on you. Whereas the Clive Churchill, it's the fucking last game of the year, so you're just gonna give it your all.
Yeah. And
Like
people
this-
remember those grand final efforts as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking tough, though.
Like Scott Sattler running
Let's
down
be
the
honest,
sideline
th-
tackling.
There's no point in any of us three fucking debating either of them because we're not
I
getting
think
it.
I'd probably rather win the Dally M.
If I had to win one of them, I guess the Dally M wouldn't be too bad.
As the reigning 6th grade 22 grand final player of the match, I would much rather win the Clive Churchill because it shows that you showed up in the last game. You might
That's
not have
the
showed
game
up
that
all
matters
season.
most.
Yeah, you might have
Exactly.
showed up all
Exactly.
season. Showed up when it counts.
Yeah, that's it.
Fuck,
Big-
I'm
big
excited.
game performer.
I had a lot of people say, "Oh, it's not a great game for neutrals this Sunday," and I had to ask the question: is any grand final a great game for neutrals?
Yeah, not
There's
really.
only 2 teams that really matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Like neutrals are normally, it's like, sure, you hope for a good game, but like,
As if it's not going to be a good game as well. Think about the star-studded lineup in both teams.
I can't remember the last time. Well, probably 2020 when it was at Storm Penrith. That's like since 2020, I haven't really been like, fuck, these are the best 2 teams
Yeah.
possible to be playing
Yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
the best
But it's
players out
crazy
there.
that both codes, it's 1v2.
Yeah.
AFL and NRL.
In crazily like mumbo jumbo seasons forever. Like anyone
Yeah.
was beating anyone all season across
Yeah.
both codes,
Yeah.
and still it's 1v2.
Even like the Knights came from nowhere to do as well as they did.
Yeah, yeah.
You're right. Yeah, it's going to be fucking an epic weekend of footy.
Brisbane, like I thought Brisbane might have burst at the seams last Saturday night.
Yeah.
With 2 prelims on one day.
Yeah.
2 grand finals in one weekend might be what breaks us.
Yeah, thank God they're not in Brisbane.
That
Can you
would
imagine
be-
that?
It's kind of a shame that we have to
It
give it
is.
to Sydney and Melbourne.
It is,
What
but-
have they done to earn these?
Exactly. They're not the sporting capital of the world.
No, far
Sporting,
from it.
sporting capital of the entire
Far
universe.
from it.
Like, fuck yeah.
I can't remember the last time Melbourne or Victoria ever won an Origin.
Yeah,
It might
exactly.
have never happened.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. They've only got one NRL team, so fuck them.
Correct. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a stat for one of our segments.
Yeah, can you do it when we're not fucking
Yeah,
live on
sorry.
air
I
recording,
just-
mate?
I
And
just
get your
fucking-
your fucking pizza box too while we're at it.
Hey, Dad. So, you know when you have something coming to your head and you know that you're not going to be able to remember because you're a dumb cunt?
I'm the same, mate. And I do it all the time. I need to write that down. Say, oh, I won't forget that. 5 minutes later. What was I
Because
even
it's a
thinking
ripper
about?
one that's going to support
Yep.
our cause, I think.
Anyway, sporting capital of the world. Get around Brisbane this weekend. You mugs.
Yeah.
All right. If you listened to last week's show, you would have known we had a bit of a debate about basically bloke maths and who owes who what from a few bets throughout the season. We couldn't basically come to an agreement that everyone was happy with, and I haven't been able to sleep with it all week. What, Donny? What's wrong, mate?
I feel like you're willingly being unhappy. I feel like what really pissed me off, I haven't spoken about this yet. The next day, when you two were talking about that bullshit explanation of double or nothing, someone got in the BBB frothies and was like, wow, I really thought I knew what a double or nothing was, but after listening to today's pod, I don't think that I know what it was. And I said, you've really, instead of assuming that these two might be lying, you've second-guessed the last, 25 years of your life and been like, no, surely my two icon heroes can't be wrong.
We would never lie
It's
to our
me
listeners.
that's wrong.
No, we would never lie to our listeners. That's just how it works. You basically owed us 12 cases, which is what we thought. You've obviously had a rebuttal. Again, we're getting into it. We're never going to solve it. So what I've done,
Sherlock himself couldn't solve this.
I've gone out of the podcast, brought in a third party to sort of navigate this deal for us.
Sweet.
Someone who knows a fair bit about cases of bloke.
Okay.
And he sent through a little message for us to help out Donny with his fucking bloke maths this week.
Boys, what is going on? Matt the Water Boy from Bloke in a Bar here. Look, I received the bat signal. I received the SOS from Das earlier in the week regarding an NRL season worth of bets, which to nobody's surprise, no one kept proper track of. I'll be honest, I was a little overwhelmed when I got this message because I've been a bloke for almost 3 years, but I still feel like I needed to go higher up for something so important. Unfortunately, Denon's up in Queensland this week holding the pads for the Broncos. So I decided to actually go to the lab of the actual bloke brewer to run the numbers for this bet. Now, he lives in Victoria, so I had to drop everything. I quickly jumped on a plane. Thank God no Sydney teams, or barely any Sydney teams are in grand finals this week because flights were only $13. Anyway, I met with a brewer and we crunched the numbers, and here's what we came back with. Now, round 2, Broncos versus Cowboys. We dove into some historical data, which is very important for the start of this bet, and found that the Broncos are paying $1.79 coming into this game. Now, everyone's favourite superhero, Captain Hindsight, would tell you that the Broncos should clean them up. But we've got to remember, the Bronx fell off a cliff last year. The Cowboys made a prelim, so I think this is a well-earned case of beer for Das here. Now we go on to round 23. It gets a little more interesting. This data blew me off my chair, blew us off our chair, me and the brewer. By this stage, the Broncos are flying, and the Cowboys have just lost to the Titans.
Right.
So how the Broncos came into this game at $1.88, I will never know. This was only like 6 to 8 weeks ago. As I said before, in hindsight, it's very easy to think, why would Donny put these bets on when the Cowboys suck this year? And by the way, it's irrelevant who I support. But the Broncos entered both games only slight favourites, so credit to you both. However, another well-earned case for Das here, where we go 2-0 up.
Bang.
Here's where we entered a bit of a grey area. Now, Das and Donny had a case bet on the Panthers making the grand final. As we know, the Panthers have made their 4th successive grand final.
Yes.
Darcy literally ran a marathon last week or the week before, so you think he'd understand the concept of tapering. The Panthers have been waiting for this for weeks now. If I can put it in marathon terms for you, Das, the Panthers not making the grand final after 3 years of 4 years almost, of complete and utter dominance would be like running a marathon, getting to the 39-kilometre mark, running past the aid station, hijacking a car, and driving off a cliff. Now, I've taken all the emotion out of it, and this is proper number crunching. I've actually docked you 2 cases here. So at this point, it's 0-all. You guys are square.
Donny's happy. Donny's happy.
However, this is where it gets really interesting. Now, this piece of information I'm about to bring up, to Darcy's credit, actually wasn't mentioned in the initial request or the initial report. We've had to send some spies out to do some digging.
Donny's going
now,
red. Donny's going
a couple of weeks
red.
ago, in and amongst Clutzy's very funny Pat Carrigan story two weeks ago, where I genuinely felt sorry for you there, Klutz, it was brought to the lab's attention that Donny actually has a membership at the Broncos.
Yeah.
Now, this is what we call a code red. I was in Victoria, remember? They nearly went back into lockdown. Dan Andrews literally had to resign. Donny, you showed balls with the first 2 bets. But on the surface, this is simply outrageous. Now, I will admit your reasoning made sense. You got the Flexi membership, so you can get to a few home games for a cheaper price. 4 is what you said. Now, unfortunately for you, we could not let this slide. I have no idea how much it is to go to the footy, but Donny, unfortunately, I'm going to have to add 1 case per game, plus an extra case for the turncoat nature. So 4 games you go to through this membership, plus 1 extra case. So that's 5 cases that you now owe Das.
Yep.
Look, mate, I get it. If it makes dollars, it makes sense, but you've really cost yourself here. Now, here's where it should end, and I feel like it would be unfair of me to just leave it here because, yes, Donny, I've absolutely given it to you there, but Das, I can't let that Penrith thing slide. So I do feel, though, that at the moment, Donny, you owe Das 5. This is up for interpretation. This is completely up to you. But because of your shit Penrith call, Das, I think if they win 1 to 12, a case should get knocked off. And if they win 13 plus, 2 cases should get knocked off. So to wrap up, Donny will owe Darcy anywhere between 3 and 5 cases by Sunday night. Donny, head to your local celebrations or bottle low stores across New South Wales or Queensland. I said New South Wales because who knows who you'll be aligned with by the time this airs. Thanks, boys.
That is, you literally cannot argue with that, can you?
I'm a little speechless. One thing I will say, I know, and that's some very hard math, but the one thing that popped into my mind when I got a case added on for each Flexi game I went to,
Yep.
I did use the Flexi pass to watch the Cowboys. So surely...
No, you went to a Broncos game with the Broncos membership.
Yeah. It was a Broncos home game, was it not?
Broncos home game.
Yeah.
So
In the Broncos members section.
Well, no, I wasn't in the members section. The Flexi Pass just lets you sit like up in the gods. So I've never been to the Broncos members section. I did go to the Broncos members bar though, believe that.
yeah, I think that counts.
But the question I have is like I'm trying to do the math. I feel like I currently personally feel like I owe 3 cases is what I owe.
Yes.
And now with this bet, I could owe anywhere between 3 and 5. Is that correct?
Yes. No, you currently
No,
owe
you currently
5.
owe 5.
Yes.
No, Matty just said there, you owe 5.
On Earth, I owe 3.
No, we are on Earth. Matty works
Also-
at Bloke in a bar,
also-
knows bloke maths
May
quite
I
well.
just step in here? Matty failed to mention the carton that you owe us for your stupid bet about Melbourne and the Roosters.
He did.
Yeah.
that I was-
So you're actually up to 7.
I was going to let that slide.
I'm
you
not
know?
because he just tried to rebut it. I was going to fucking let it slide as well. So it's 7 or 5 with a minimum of 3.
It's like a jail sentence. It's like a jail
7
sentence.
or 5 with a minimum of 3.
It just depends on your next answer.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I feel like I'm being coerced into something here, but yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, sweet. Cool. So it's 5 cases.
Yeah.
But potentially 3.
Potentially 3.
If the Panthers win 13 plus, it's 3.
That's so annoying. I don't want the Panthers to win 13 plus.
Yeah,
exactly.
well, better
And yet
cough
I
up your
do.
5 cases. We didn't even get into the territory of Broncos winning 13 plus, but I'm guessing you're not going to open that can of fish.
That'd be a lot of cases.
That'd be a shitload of cases.
I'd have to buy Bloke. I'd have to buy out
Denon, yeah.
Send
one
him into
case for every
retirement.
One
point.
case for every point.
One
yeah.
point. Yeah, one case for every point.
Kempy gets
They win.
early retirement.
Fuck, that's
Donny
good
joins
from
the
Matty.
DMT. Yeah.
That's great from Matty.
Yeah, great from Matty. Thanks, Matty the Waterboy, an absolute legend. And shout out to Bloke Beer. Donny's keeping him afloat.
Massive game this weekend, as we've already touched on.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
And if you're a betting man, what better 3 people to help you than 3 people that consistently win bets in their own minds?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yep.
And we want to break. We did it for Origin, and I think we made a lot of people a lot of money. From
Yeah,
what I
well,
remember.
we basically outlined that Queensland couldn't lose the Origin series, and they won. So,
Yeah.
the stats don't lie.
And so after doing such a good job at Origin and that working out so well for Queensland,
Yep.
we thought we'd go away and try and figure out these are the best stats, these stats that you need for the NRL Grand Final, the only stats you need for the NRL
That's
Grand
it.
Final.
Normally, our podcast would say, don't worry about looking for stats, but these aren't your everyday stats.
Oh, fuck
And
no.
I think after listening to this next little segment, you're going to know exactly what we're talking
We
about.
normally say stats and analysis you can fuck off, but come the fuck here and listen up.
Tune in, bruh.
Sit
Strap
down,
in.
children. You're about to get a history lesson.
That's it. Who wants to kick off?
Well, the first one I had was, did you know, just like Spencer Lenu, if this is for Clive Churchill betters, has never won one.
Crazy.
Spencer Lenu's never won a Clive Churchill.
Really?
Never even really been in consideration.
Steer clear of him in betting.
I wouldn't touch him.
Yeah, I wonder what price he is.
You've just saved a lot of people money.
Well, that's what I'm
Good
here
job,
for.
good job. Brisbane have won 100% of the games that I've personally watched of theirs in full, in their entirety this year.
Really?
Yep.
Every game you've watched in full, the Broncos have won.
Yeah, because I've watched it in full.
There you go.
Yep.
Get this man. What, do you leave early when they're losing?
Oh, I just don't, sometimes I don't watch the full 80 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, there might be 2 minutes where I run off and go to the toilet.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
For all the ones that I have watched every minute
Have you watched
of,
every minute of any of them?
yeah,
One?
the ones they've won. Yeah.
Couldn't look away.
The first stat that I pulled, did some deep diving for this one. The Broncos have never lost a grand final with Reece Walsh as fullback.
Is that true?
True stuff.
Yeah.
Really makes you think.
I didn't know
I went
that.
back to the
That's
start of the
crazy.
NRL era. They've never lost a grand final with Reece Walsh at fullback.
Fucking hell.
That's
Yeah,
so good.
really makes you think.
This one's a bit worrying for Penrith fans. It's actually been almost 12 months since they've won a grand final.
Oh,
That's a dry spell.
Big dry spell.
That's
What's going on in
nearly
Penrith?
as long as Donny's dry spell. And that kid's in trouble. This one actually feeds in quite nicely to Donny's dry spell. There's no man in Penrith who can fit more avocado seeds in his ass than Donny Sports from Brisbane. Broncos win.
Because as we know, avocado seeds in the doot don't really help with winning grand finals. Penrith have won 0% of their games that I've fully watched of theirs this season. Haven't watched the full game of
Yeah,
Penrith.
these stats don't lie, do they?
Well, this one was a weird one that I found. Stephen Crichton has never had a game-winning try in a grand final when Adam Reynolds has led the other team.
Wow.
Wow.
Wait, no, that one's not true.
Oh
That
shit!
one
Yeah, sorry.
definitely
Don't fact check that one.
Oh my God, is that 2021 where he took the intercept?
Yeah, don't
Oh,
fact check that one.
Oh,
Don't
I
fact
don't-
check
I'll
that
be
one.
jumping on Stephen Crichton.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe.
This is my fourth and final one. It might be my third. I can't even remember how many I wrote down. But the Caxton Hotel, best pub in the world, is in Brisbane. Brisbane is the best city in the world. Broncos win.
I can't argue with that.
Can't argue with
Can't
that.
argue with that.
As we sit here at the
Brisbane
Caxton
Trying to
Hotel,
do
like,
some math as to how to rebuke that, but
What?
I simply
Can't.
can't.
have you heard of
can't.
Have you heard of one pub in Penrith?
No.
No.
Penrith Leagues?
Yeah, probably.
Not
I
going
don't
to be
know.
a fun place there
That's a
on
leagues
Sunday.
club,
No.
not a pub.
Yeah, exactly.
very
It's a
true.
club, not a pub.
Never heard of it then.
Never heard of it. Not good. Not a good sign.
Nathan Cleary, this is no disrespect to you, has an 87.6% chance of not taking the game by the balls when behind or when it's tight and making the game his own.
Yeah.
So there is a 12.4% chance that we see him pull one out of his ass, but I'm going with the 87.6 that he doesn't stamp himself on the game. And yeah,
That's a big number, 87.
yeah, it is.
Promising
And I think
stuff.
the 0.6 makes it really good because you'd rather be closer than 88 than 87.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, you don't want to be fucking 82. Like,
No,
get it
you
up as
don't.
high as you can.
That's it.
I've got a bit, like, if you can come with me on a bit of a journey here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love journeys.
For those that don't know, do you know about a sister city?
Not really.
So a lot of cities in the world have sister cities.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Brisbane, their sister city is Kobe, Japan.
Yeah, right.
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 What does that mean?
So Kobe, Japan, and then I thought Kobe, sporting icon, played for the Lakers. And then I thought, we've got two teams in a grand final this weekend. When's the last time two teams from one city won titles? It was the Lakers and the Dodgers in 2020.
Oh.
What
That's big.
What more do you want from me?
Big.
Like,
That's
what
big.
are we talking about
That is
here?
huge.
What's Penrith's sister city doing? Probably
Kissing
kissing their dad on the lips or some shit?
Broom.
I've got something to add to that helps more as well. All right.
We're not trying to help. We're just stating facts here, Josh.
I'm just backing up this a little bit more about why they're going to win. So the last time that 1 versus 2 happened in the AFL and NRL grand final at the same time was 2008. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Geelong versus Hawthorn, Manly versus Melbourne.
Yeah.
Geelong minor premiers, Melbourne minor premiers.
Oh, okay.
Hawthorn beat Geelong in the AFL grand final.
Yep.
Manly pumps the Melbourne Storm 40-0 in the grand final.
You know what they say? First is the worst, second is the best.
That's it. And this weekend, both Brisbane teams are coming in
Second.
as second on the ladder.
Really
If
makes you
don't
think.
adhere to history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Exactly.
That's what I say.
And that's why next year the Bulldogs are winning the premiership.
Oh, anyone else have anything to
I
round
got a
it out?
couple more.
Okay, keep them going. Keep them
All
going.
right. Reece Walsh and Pat Carrigan have the highest percentage of Australians who have the hots for a sporting duo of all time at 99%. This beats the previous record of 95% held by Stephanie Rice and Quade Cooper. So hot combos are always a hot topic.
Yeah, hot
And
combos.
everyone gets around hotness.
Yeah, spicy.
So Reece Walsh, Pat Carrigan, the hottest duo in the fucking country
Yeah,
right now.
fucking oath.
If not them, who?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I can't think of anyone.
There were some rumours about some, but they're not true. I've also got Brisbane have a 100% win rate in grand finals against non-Queensland teams.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's
That really makes you think.
Yeah, well, they've only ever lost to the Cowboys in the
they
grand
did.
final.
Yeah. No fear of that this year, is there?
And the last one that I had, the Broncos are actually representing the entire state of Queensland, and as such will channel and embody the Ubuntu energy made famous by our state's great side
Bang.
over the last 2 seasons.
There is a lot of that.
There
There's
is.
a fuck ton of
There's a
Ubuntu in
lot
the
of
air,
that.
baby.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably other stats floating around other podcasts, but like, have any of those other podcasts got a 100% hit rate with their stats that matter?
Probably
No.
not.
Probably not. Do
Probably
we?
not even close.
Yeah, bro, we do. So, like, I'm not saying take it as gospel, but it's
Not
written.
not.
It's written in the scriptures. So,
Fucking oath.
as you may or may not know, Josh, you probably might be able to provide some insight here to kick this one off. But the Wallabies are essentially out of the World Cup.
There is a slim chance that we still make the quarterfinals.
legit?
Really?
Yeah.
Have we got
I'll
to
tell
pump
you how.
Portugal by 100 points or
well,
something?
we've got to beat Portugal with a bonus point win and rely on Fiji losing to the powerhouses of Georgia and Portugal without scoring a single bonus point against either team.
Right.
When does
so-
a bonus point come into it?
Lose by 7 points or less, and
Okay.
4 tries scored in a match or more, you get a bonus point.
So if you lose by less than 7 or score more than 4, you get an extra point.
Yep.
Okay.
So just
You're
don't let
saying
them
there's a
score
chance.
tries and don't lose.
blow 'em
by-
out of the
yeah,
water.
Blow them out of the water.
But basically, I think it's the first time in history that the Wallabies are looking like they're not going to make it out of the group stage.
We just dropped to 10th in the world, which is our lowest ever world ranking.
Yeah. I was on the phone to someone last night. This certain someone has asked not to have been named and remain nameless. And like any good sort of content creator, I'm not going to give up my sources. These boys know who it is, but I'm not going to publicly
A young
state them.
Buzz Rothfield in the flesh here.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, we were just talking, and he's actually over in France going to the game.
Oh, so he's still there now.
He's still there. He's going to the Portugal
Right.
game on the weekend, and I was like, mate, fuck, what are the chances? 'Cause it's his first game. Didn't get to go to any of the other ones. And I was like, what's going to be like? He's like, mate, at least I can say that I was at rock bottom for the Wallabies. And
Base camp, rock bottom.
well, mate, I said, home World Cup next time round, like it's all up from here. And we got talking, and basically, he thinks there's a bit of a conspiracy theory afoot.
Okay.
Do you know how many people watched the test on Amazon about the cricket sandpaper game?
Oh, God, I know where this is going.
Because I don't either, but it was lots. Like
Okay.
I've just anecdotally heard a lot of people talking about how good of a series it was. So assuming it did quite well for Amazon.
Good
Yeah.
numbers.
I think we can probably all say Stan Sport, who currently broadcast the rights to the rugby, the domestic game,
Yep.
probably not getting those sorts of numbers as the test.
Definitely not.
No.
Almost without a doubt.
Our source basically is telling us from the inside that Stan have paid good money for this rock bottom sandpaper gate-esque moment
Yep.
in order for our illustrious nation to build itself back up through a docu-series and claim the World Cup title in 2027 on home soil.
That's actually
That is
so good.
That would work.
I mean, imagine how many people are buying the fucking rights to that documentary.
Yeah.
They tried it this year, Stan, with the Finns doco. Great doco, but they just missed it. Imagine if they had been following the Broncos around this season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that being said, the Finns
Still-
successful year.
It
100%,
changed the per-
100%.
Successful
That
year.
doco changed the perception. You were
Finns
going
fever.
into this season
Yep.
hating the Finns.
Yep.
And then you watched the doco and
Gets
was
one
like,
credit
oh,
on it.
okay.
Was in it for 1 second. No, everyone loves a good story and redemption story. So our source is basically out there touting that Stan has pumped big money into this rock bottom moment. There's rumours that Justin Langer will be announced as the next Wallabies coach.
Wow.
He did it with the cricket team, and Rugby Australia back him to do it for them. Justin Langer's barefoot strategy is a way to connect with the community. Everyone has bare feet, and not everyone has a set of R.M. Williams.
That is true.
That's very true.
That is
I mean,
true.
we've seen it happen, right? Australia just went to England and retained the Ashes after Sandpaper Gate. Justin Lang,
It's so crazy.
It's horny stuff. It's a great concept.
It makes-
I'd tell that birdie you have to keep chirping.
it makes
We need
sense
more
as well,
chirps from
right?
that birdie.
It makes sense. If you
Dollars.
can't see what I'm doing, I'm rubbing my fingers together like I've got cash in my hands. We know money rules the world.
Oh, yeah.
Us Stan Sports behind the demise of the Wallabies and Eddie Jones.
If
They're
they are,
not.
good on them for cashing in on such a grandeur opportunity.
Yeah.
I was going to say this. Like, you think about it, you look back, as a young kid, you remember watching the Wallabies, hey?
Fucking right.
Used to love it.
Yep.
We don't have that at the moment.
No, we
but as
don't.
you said, a docu-series.
Tell us the
One
story.
of the great weapons in a storytelling arsenal of the modern times. It's going to pay dividends for them.
I can't think of any other reason that would explain the form slump the Wallabies are in.
No. Well, we're so good at every other sport.
Yeah, a humble nation of 26.
And
however-
everyone loves an underdog comeback story.
home soil.
Everyone loves it.
We just saw it with the Matildas on home soil. The groundswell is going to be big.
Yep.
So I'm thinking, I don't even know if shares are publicly listed for Stan, but if they are, get in.
up,
Get
get
in.
up.
If you're listening to this, get in.
Maybe B's about to dump the whole bank account.
It's going to be a big 4 years for Stan. And yeah, I just wanted to run that one by you.
Das, earlier we spoke about how we have to basically clear purchases with each other.
Yeah.
I do have to make a confession right now.
Oh, no. What have you done?
Our entire balance has just gone into
Stan.
Stan shares.
Mate, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And
I
in
sort of
20
had a hunch that this is the sort of vibe that we were going for.
Yeah.
So pretty much our whole livelihoods depend on the Wallabies docu-series now.
Yeah. And if
Congratulations, dude.
if in 2027, if you're looking at this podcast thinking, are those boys actually sitting at solid gold benches? Yeah, bruh. Because the Wallabies just won the fucking World Cup.
We're going to be sitting on the Web Ellis itself.
What are the odds Klutzes just put all the money into Stan Sport accounts?
Why do we have
You're the
67
proud owner
logins?
of 1,000 Stan Sport accounts.
That's not how it works, man.
Fucking hell, that'd be something I would do.
But yeah, you heard it here first.
That's a great
Stan
theory.
conspiracy
I
theory.
love that theory.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
On a semi-serious note, though, if people are listening to this next season, genuinely highly encourage you, if you enjoy sport at all, if you like your league and that sort of shit, watching the professional brand of union in this country is so fucking terrible.
Correct.
It is so shit. Do yourselves a favour and find out where your local union club is. Because the guys in the fucking domestic comp and the international comp have fucking ruined this sport so much. It was the pinnacle of this fucking country, as I said, 20 years ago.
There's also genuinely bigger and better crowds at local clubs.
You would get
better atmosphere.
But there was, I've spoken about it before on this podcast, but down in the Shute Shield, which is the Sydney comp, one of the biggest rivalries is between Warringah and
Ramwick?
Manly.
Warringah wouldn't. Yeah, sorry.
So there's Manly and there's
Yep,
Warringah.
Yeah.
A few years ago, there was a Sea Eagles game at Brookvale on a Friday night, and they got like 10,000 people to the game. The next day, for the Rats versus the Marlins, they had fucking 15,000 people and
Yeah.
packed out Brookie.
Wild.
You know what I mean? That's not even for the domestic comp.
Yeah.
There's support there. And it's for the actual good brand of football.
Yeah.
You go down to Jeeps on a fucking Saturday, and it's
Packed.
exciting footy.
Fucking nice.
You might have some score lines of like fucking 50-30.
Yeah.
But it's attacking
And there's
try-scoring.
unbelievable works burgers available from the canteen.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
The
So-
chicken salt on the chips is unmatched. Dude, genuinely, like, this is
So
not even
good.
talking shit. The food at the Chiefs canteen is at least 10 times better than Suncorp.
Oh, 100%. And cheaper.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
fucking
it
oath,
is
it's
cheaper.
cheaper.
And
Yeah,
cheaper.
Yeah.
We used to have the Reverend go around and do his Works Burger fucking reviews and stuff a couple of years ago, but you really do, you just get everything down
Maybe
at your
Stan
local
Sport needs
club.
to get involved with Jeeps.
fucking oath.
I'd watch that documentary.
And if they
Everyone
don't,
would watch that documentary.
if they don't, maybe we should fucking do something about it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
honestly, club rugby is so fucking good.
Yep.
I was explaining to someone on some fucking random sports forum the other day. I think it was on a P's and D's post actually.
Just when
And
you
I
said
was
sports
like-
forum, I thought you were on like rugby
Yeah,
fan.
I don't know if P's
No,
and
I
D's
have-
counts as a sports
I have
forum.
been commenting on some other rugby stuff, but on the P's and D's the other day, someone was like, "Oh, the whole private school effect is sort of shit," and I was like, "Take that away and go down to club stuff.
Yeah.
It's actually fun as fuck. Like the boys are loose. It's
Yeah.
a great environment, and have a go at playing if you can.
Yeah.
Like playing it is a lot funner than watching it. But
Oh,
if
yeah.
you watch it at the club level, it's fucking sick.
They need to find a way to kick the elitism about it. Because
You know
like,
what you do? You blow the whole fucking thing up
Yeah.
and grab some bloke from league or something and bring, or as you said, grab Justin Langer,
Yeah.
who comes in and just goes,
Who knows how to lead man? You know who
I-
they should get? Billy Slater.
yeah.
yeah, they're talking about, oh, which players do we need?
Yeah.
No,
It's not the
You need a
players.
captain to this ship,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
You need Darren fucking Lockyer over there telling you how to be a man.
Darren Buff Lehman.
Oh, fuck yeah. Fucking hard. But I was even chatting to AB the other day about it. And she was like, they need to do something really left field and offer like fucking $5 million.
They need to do something, mate.
To Wayne Bennett or like
Yeah.
Craig Bellamy to just come in and just go, this
Fix
is how to
this
run a
shit.
fucking organisation, you
Yeah.
pricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's a fucking shambles. But
But
shout out to Stan. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Not an ad for Stan either. They're not paying us to say. Well, that probably won't
Reach
shock
out.
anyone. Yeah.
fucking reach out, Stan.
That's a tough sell.
It's a tough sell.
I'm fired up. At least there's fucking one person showing a bit of passion about
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Get him in a jersey.
Yeah. More than some of the other cunts in the country, particularly in the whole fucking higher ups. Jesus Christ.
He's fired up. Righto. Thanks everyone for listening this week.
Yep.
Very soft spoken.
Yeah, well, you don't have headphones on, so you probably can't hear the full effect of my gravitas and my gusto through the mic. Donny hates headphones for some reason. Don't know why.
They make me fog up.
Yeah, that's fair. Kid can fog.
The kid fogs up.
Kid
quick.
bounces, but he
Righto,
fogs.
Vel.
Especially when Clutzy's got me over here giggling like a schoolgirl.
Yeah.
I fog up real
Also, if
quick.
people don't believe that the kid can bounce, he FaceTimed me yesterday from the trampoline.
Just jumping on the
He was
trampoline.
bouncing from home all day
Just
yesterday.
bouncing around.
Hey,
So
hey,
far.
How are you, mate? Yeah, I'm flat out. Well, obviously you're not because you're looking pretty up and down. But yeah, thanks for listening. We'll be back on Monday with Blowing the Froth Off. Make sure you go check out Donny Sports everywhere. And go
the
Brisbane.
Broncos.
Sporting capital of the world,
Go
baby.
the Broncos and go the Lions.
Sporting capital of the world.
Now give us a Bronco noise.